All right, we're recording the sewer line here today at 5121 South Othello Street. Date's October 13th, 2020. Coming out after a second backup recently to inspect the line and try to figure out what's causing these backups and what we can do to prevent them in the future. So what we're looking at right now is a Seattle City mainline sewer. This is running up and down Othello Street. This is where you guys, as homeowners, your responsibility ends. So you're responsible for the sewer line up until the tap to the city main, which is kind of a raw deal for Seattle homeowners because it's out under the road.
Yep.
And under the road expenses or repairs can become very expensive. Anyway.
Okay.
Coming
it's
back
all the way out at the street.
Yeah, so right now we're all the way out. I'm recording this from the clean out down here in the basement. So this is the city main. Let's see, we'll drop into some water here. That's you and the neighbors and everybody's sewage flowing by.
Okay.
Right there. So we're going to come back from that point. That's a clay pipe, that city line. What we're coming back into is concrete.
Okay. So
a 6-inch diameter concrete sewer line. The two materials they were installing were upside down. So I'm going to flip the screen back over. The two materials they were using installing sewer lines at the time they were building these houses were clay and concrete. Clay has held up a little bit better structurally over the years. Concrete's crap. It's keeping bomb-bullets in business. You guys have concrete.
Of course we do.
Of course you do. So what you'll notice as we come back is a couple of things. One, the way they installed these pipes in the olden days of 1920, whenever this house was built, sections about 2 to 3 feet long. So 2 to 3 feet long, and there's just sections of pipe all the way down. So essentially there's a seam every 2 or so feet. The seam is the weak spot. The seam is where as the earth shifts and earthquakes and settling occurs, the pipe shifts and it creates lips on those seams, it creates flat spots, etc. The other thing to take note of that I noted on your line on the way out is how rough it is along the bottom. So essentially sewage has been flowing along the bottom of this concrete line for 80, 90 years now. It's made the concrete along the bottom really rough. It's starting to catch up sewage as it goes. So when you flush your 1.6 or 1.2 if you've got low flow toilets, that's got to carry the sewage 100 feet out through this old line where it's taken a couple of turns. It's really aggregate and rough along the bottom. So it's
stuff just gets caught along.
Yeah, so basically the water keeps going and then the sewage gets stuck. And eventually you get these pockets of sewage as the next chunk. As nasty as all of this sounds, this is what is occurring in your pipes. Unbeknownst to you, underground.
We're not squeamish, it's okay.
Okay, good. So 6-inch diameter line still. Once in the city of Seattle, when you get to the right-of-way, which is generally your property line, sidewalk area, it bumps up from 4-inch to 6-inch diameter. So initially, as this pipe exits the house, it's about this big. Gets to the sidewalk, it jumps up. The walls are a little thicker. The pipe's a little stronger. That being said, it's under the road. If something breaks under the road. You are on the tree. Creek. So right now we're upside down, but you can see the bottom of the pipe versus the top of the pipe, and how rough it is. It's just like laying on a sidewalk for 50 years. I mean, it's just gonna it's just gonna wear the concrete. So we're still out under the road. We're probably getting close back to the sidewalk parking strip area now. And at some point we'll see that diameter shift to 4-inch. So all that being said, your 6-inch section of line is in pretty good shape. I mean, it's intact. It is functioning. There are no major breaks or offsets. So right there, jumping from our 4 to 6-inch diameter, you can kind of see the pipes doing the shift change there. I'm going to actually run outside and locate this spot. So the head of the camera sends up a beacon. I can locate it. I'm going to pause it. Carrying on.
Okay.
So we've got what looks like 33 feet of 6-inch diameter pipe. We're going to zero that out as we come back in the 4-inch.
Okay.
Come back in there. Go back into the 4-inch line now. Go back and forth a little bit here. I went out kind of fast and didn't get to.
It doesn't look like there's roots or anything.
No, that's one thing you guys have going for you, is you do not have a root issue. What you have is just a rough aggregate pipe issue. So far so good. You see see that.
Is
So
that
that's
just a little bit of...
yeah. It's just, I mean, it's a very minor example of what's going on.
Yeah.
And more. So right there on the right side of the pipe, you see that half moon shape.
Yep.
That's what I'm guessing is the downspout at the front corner of the house tying into the line. I could go test that really quickly, and I might before I get out of here, but in the interest of just moving this recording along,
Okay.
we're going to leave that for now. But more than likely, what it looks like is that downspout up at the front corner of the house is tying into the pipe there, or there. So there's two different ones, right within that same couple of feet of each other. There's a little more of an example of what's going on. So the sewage just isn't making it as far as it needs to be. Transitioning from the cast iron, which is like this material, which is running underneath the floor here, out to wherever it's bouncing out of the house here. I'm guessing that direction. I'll go find out here before I'm out of here, but this would be my guess is your biggest problem spot. So what your line's doing here is, while we're upside down, let me fix that. It's coming out. It's got a little bit of a pool here, so it's slightly flat there, which is not ideal, but as much as this is, I'm not super concerned with the flatness.
Okay.
What I am concerned with is you're kind of jogging. I mean those back-to-back consecutive turns as it's switching material. This would be, without having been here for either of the clogs, would be my guess of where this clog is starting, is right here. It's a very common spot. If you're getting these kind of soft blockage clogs, they're generally not going to be like 80 feet down the line, because in order for it to back up, it has to fill 80 feet worth of pipe. I mean, that's thousands of pounds of pressure on that clog. So generally when they're soft like this, they're happening pretty close to the house, because they're not getting a whole lot of head pressure behind them. You're getting a little sewage kind of squishing and blocking up in this spot.
Which is why, like, being in the shower can cause it.
Exactly. You're putting a bunch of volume of water down there. The water's got nowhere to go. It's hitting this clog, and so it's coming up. It'd be one thing, like I said, if it's 80 feet downstream, you're probably just pushing, the clog pushes itself through. I mean, you might get some buildup of that toilet paper and stuff down there, but more than likely, it's just pushing.
Okay.
So coming back now through the cast, unless it's in really super lousy shape, which I've honestly never even seen in 10 years, we leave it. So generally lasts. I mean, it's thick iron pipe. It's not getting any roots. There's not a lot of seams in it, so we're up out of the pipe now. So I'll end the recording there. Do you have any quick questions for me?